Okay, hi everyone. I have been pondering on, whether I should make a video and post on Facebook about what happened to me and whatnot. But a lot of people know what happened to me, but not a lot of people know what my progress is and how much better I'm getting. So I don't post on Facebook a whole lot, and um, matter of fact, I rather not. But just for the people that were concerned or had their thoughts, had me in their thoughts. Um, I just wanted to come on here and explain my injuries and how I'm recovering from them. As of right now, I have 1 week until I can go back to York and start walking on my right leg. Now, my right leg is the one that I broke. I broke my femur and I shattered my knee and my kneecap. Uh, that was in my opinion, that was the worst injury because not only did I break my femur, but it came up through my quad muscle and it destroyed my quad muscle, and I was bleeding severely at the crash site. And they had to push my femur back into my leg. I was awake for that, and I remember that. But my left leg, I sustained a torn ACL, PCL, and LCL. Well, partially torn. They weren't completely torn. And then I also sustained a ligament that was completely torn off the bone. Maybe two ligaments. I've only known of them talking about one ligament that got tore off of my knee, which would make my leg go back and forth. He was able to grab my lower leg and like essentially like move it back and forth, and you're not supposed to do that, or move it side to side. And then I also had nerve damage, so I have foot drop right now, so I can't pick my foot up. But I had a nerve graft put in, and by the grace of God, my body accepted the nerve graft, and um, went and talked to the doctor about that, like I think 2 weeks ago, and he said there was a 50-50. Well, actually, I'm mistaken. When they put it in, they said it was a 50-50 chance. But when I went up there, he expected me to have between 80 to 100% of full function in my foot in 4 to 6 months, which was actually fantastic to hear. But I broke these two fingers in my left hand. So my ring finger and my pinky finger, I broke those down into my hand, and I actually had to have, I don't know, you can see the scars. They drilled through my knuckle and put a screw and wire in there. And I also had a fractured hip bone on each side of my hips. A lot of, I want to say, swelling in my body, mostly my lower limbs. They had to, I think they cut me about 12 inches on my right leg to get in there, and I have a plate and 12 screws in my left leg. So pretty traumatizing. The little bit of what happened, I was coming down Route 30 on McConnellsburg side of the mountain, was going through the S-turns, and I thought that I was farther through the S-turns than what I actually was, coming up on the straight stretch to go down the mountain on my motorcycle. Well, that wasn't the case, and because I brought the motorcycle back upright and realized I was heading towards a guardrail, and I locked the brakes up. The motorcycle slid. I hit the guardrail and essentially did like a front flip. And I did a front flip, and I landed on my butt and legs, which in turn is what blew my femur up through my quad muscle. I don't know what I hit on my left leg. I don't remember anything in between that. I remember hitting the guardrail, but when I was flying through the air and all the injuries that I sustained, I didn't feel my femur come up through my leg. But when I was laying there, I pulled the visor up off of my helmet. I didn't take my helmet off because I figured if I can get myself to safety, I'm going to use that helmet to get somebody's attention, because down where I was, nobody could see me, nobody could hear me. It was dark. So I pulled my visor up because it was hard to breathe, had the wind knocked out of me essentially, and I started screaming for help, and I realized that wasn't going to work. So I patted myself down, figure out what injuries I had, make sure I didn't have a bone sticking up out of my leg, which in turn I patted my right leg down and found that there was a bone sticking up out of my leg. So of course my hand was all bloody and I was losing a lot of blood, and I knew that I had to do something, and I decided that I wasn't going to bleed out and die on a mountain. So I scooched on my butt. I used the palm of my hands and I pushed myself up the mountain. It felt like I got up the mountain because I was down over the guardrail about 30 feet, 40 feet. So it felt like I got up the hill so fast. And I pulled myself up underneath the guardrail, and the first car I seen, I took my helmet off and I threw it across the road, and I waved my arms as fast as I could. They stopped. It was two guys. They got out the car. The one guy lended me his cell phone, and I called my mom, because I don't know how many people memorize phone numbers, but I have two phone numbers that are memorized in my brain, and that's my mom's phone number and my dad's phone number. And of course, I mean, I'm a mama's boy, so I wanted to call my mom. I wanted to talk to my mom. And so the other guy called 911. It felt like it took forever for the ambulance to get there, but when the ambulance finally got there, they started doctoring me up, cutting my clothes off, sticking stuff in my arms, and I was in a lot of pain. It was very surreal. They shut the road down. I remember seeing the fire trucks come up through there. It was Company 56 from McConnellsburg. So shout out to those guys for taking care of me. And then they landed the helicopter, because I had to be lifelined to a trauma center. And they landed the helicopter up at the Mountain House. And if anybody's familiar with the Mountain House, you know where that's at. And I remember getting loaded up into the ambulance, and my hand hurt so bad, and I remember resting my hand on this guy's knee, and he moved his leg, and my hand fell and hit something, and that really hurt, and I maybe cussed him out a little bit. And I did the same thing in the helicopter, because I wanted to fall asleep, because of all the blood loss that I had. I kept wanting to fall asleep, but I had to stay awake. And then I got into the helicopter, and there was this guy named Jim, kept slapping my face. I cussed him out. I got mad. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because they were trying to help me, but the helicopter ride was really weird because I've never flown in my life. So it felt like we weren't even moving, but it also, at the same time, it felt like we got there in like the snap of a finger. I remember them unloading me off the helicopter, and I remember being so thirsty. And then I also remember being cold, because I think the reason I was cold was because of the blood I lost. But also, they wouldn't let me drink anything because of surgery and everything like that. But I got through surgery, and I think after the first surgery, I had 3 more on my right leg, and then I had 1 final surgery on my left leg to fix the... I also dislocated my kneecap in the wreck too on my left leg. I remember that. A lot of injuries, and life-threatening injuries at that. Because they had on my paperwork that I had acute blood loss, so that was, of course, a lot, I guess. But at the end of the day, I was not alone on that mountain. God was definitely there. Also, my dead grandfather, I'm pretty sure he was there too. But also, I'm very thankful to be alive. I didn't want to die at 25, I guess, so it's what forced me to get up the mountain the fastest. And then also, what this has taught me is just to be thankful for every day that we are given. It really opened up my eyes as to how precious life is. But it's also pretty scary because I scared a lot of people that cared about me. And the reason I'm saying this is just to keep an open mind and don't take life for granted. Don't take anything for granted, especially being able to go to the bathroom. But if you made it this far in the video, thanks for sticking around. and I just wanted to assure everybody that I'm doing okay. I'm moving around much better, and I got one more week until I can start half-ass walking, if that makes any sense. I don't know how much weight I'm going to be able to bear on my right leg, but my left leg I won't be able to bear weight until probably the beginning of December. But I'm going to be able to walk again and be back to normal, from what the doctors have been saying, and they said that I'm going to make a full recovery, which is good. I had a lot of fundraisers to help me, and I'm incredibly thankful for that. And I'm just incredibly thankful for all the people that have stuck around and stuck by my side through this entire process. But I'm in much better spirits than I have been since August 17th, which was the day I wrecked. And every day it gets better, even though there are good days and bad days right now, but I'm having a lot more good days than bad days. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I'm going to add some pictures of the motorcycle and a few pictures of me in the hospital. And yeah, thank you all.